What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Sundial growers and some amazing news that has come out about cannabis legalization and federal decriminalization over the past day or so. We're also going to go over some very key, important pieces of information that are going to suggest that there was a lot of naked short selling on Sundial growers that was occurring in January and is still occurring at the current time. So all of this AMC GameStop short squeeze situation, in my opinion, is spreading and affecting the broader market. So we're going to go over exactly what this evidence is and explain to you guys exactly how it works. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull valued up to $1,850, and this is a great way for you guys to help support the channel as well, because when you guys set up an account, deposit over $100 and you get your 2 free stocks, I also get a free stock as well. So if you guys are interested, make sure you check out that link down in my description below. And if you guys enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So looking at the chart of Sundial growers, we can see that the stock was down about 0.88% on the day that I'm recording this video, even though there was some great overall news about the cannabis market. So when you come over here, we can see that New York just legalized marijuana. New York is the 15th state to legalize marijuana. So New York on Wednesday legalized marijuana, with the legislature passing a bill and Governor Andrew Cuomo signing it into law. Under the law, people 21 and older will be able to grow and use marijuana. The state will also set up a regulated legal marijuana market where new tax revenues directed to education, drug treatment and prevention, and communities disproportionately hurt by the war on drugs. And it will automatically expunge people's criminal records of marijuana offenses that are no longer illegal. Now, coming over here, we also have a federal note. So Schumer pushes Senate on pot laws as states leap ahead. So Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is pushing the Senate towards lifting the federal prohibition on marijuana with legislation that would represent the biggest overhaul of federal drug policy in decades. The bill that Schumer is drafting, with the Senate Finance Chair Ron Wyden of Oregon and New Jersey, Senator Cory Booker, is still being written. Now, even though Sundial Growers is a Canadian cannabis company, they are going to be able to reap some of these benefits because they're going to be able to do business in more states in the United States. And then if the overall cannabis market and the stocks of these different companies are shooting up, odds are that Sundial Growers is going to be getting a boost as well. Now, at the current time that I'm recording this video, Sundial is also up about the same amount that it fell throughout the day. So this is a pretty flat day for Sundial, but in the future, these are the types of key pieces of news that you need to keep a lookout for if you're investing in Sundial Growers. It's going to be all of these strategic partnerships that they're going to be entering into, like the one with Indiva and their private equity investment, and these new legislation laws. Let's dive into this naked short selling situation. So when we come over here, we can see, we took a look at this in my last Sundial Growers video, and we can see that this is going to be the over-the-counter non-alternative trading systems data details for the last time period. So these trades were last updated on March 1st, and we can see that Citadel Securities traded in total 2.9 billion shares of Sundial Growers. That is an absolutely insane amount. Now, what you have to keep in mind is that these numbers that you see here on the shares is just the total volume of trade. So this is buys and sells, and you also have to keep in mind that Citadel is the clearinghouse and the actual market maker for a lot of these different brokerages like Robinhood, Webull. So a lot of these trades could be coming from these different brokerage platforms, but 2.9 billion is a huge amount, and I would go out and assume that there's no way that 2.9 billion shares were traded in this last short time period on Robinhood, Webull, and all of these other brokerages. So this number doesn't exactly tell us if there is a super high short interest on Sundial Growers at the current time. We can see that Market Beat has it at about 10%, but what this data does tell us is that there is a lot of trading going on behind the scenes, And short interest data is self-reported by all of these institutions. And I've shown you guys the fines of actually violating these different rules on the self-reporting data. And the highest fine that I saw was about $1 million for misrepresenting the actual short position. So it's actually in Citadel and all of these other firms' best interest to lie if they have a higher short interest than they actually do. So there's actually two streams of thought for this. So if they came out and directly said, hey, we have a massive short on this company, it could send the company going down. We've seen Citron do this a couple of times that really sent shares of stock falling, or they want to hide the illegal things that they are doing, which I think is more likely in this Citadel situation. But that's not the big thing that we have to cover. We've already talked about this over-the-counter non-ATS data. So this is essentially all of the data that isn't the dark pools that have been traded over-the-counter. The big thing that we need to keep a lookout for and what we just found was this failures to deliver. So we're going to explain exactly what that is, but let's take a look at Sundial Growers' failure to deliver numbers. So when we come down a little bit further, we can see right here that in the first half of March 21, they had 21,774,730 shares that failed to deliver. So let's go over exactly what this is. So when we come up here, we can see what is failure to deliver. So failure to deliver refers to a situation where one party in a trading contract, whether it's shares, futures, options, or forward contracts, does not deliver on their obligations. Such failures occur when a buyer, the party with a long position, does not have enough money to take delivery and pay for the transaction at settlement. A failure can also occur when the seller, the party with a short position, does not own all or any of the underlying assets required at settlement, so it cannot make the delivery. So understanding fail to deliver, this is where it gets really important. Failure to deliver is critical when discussing naked short selling. When naked short selling occurs, an individual agrees to sell a stock that neither they nor their associated broker possesses, and the individual has no way to substantiate their access to such shares. The average individual is incapable of doing this kind of trade, but an individual working as a proprietary trader for a trading firm and risking their own capital may have the ability to carry out such an order. So naked short selling is illegal, and it is theoretically impossible because you are creating shares that do not exist. But though it would be considered illegal for them to do so, some such individuals or institutions may believe the company they short will go out of business, and thus in a naked short sale, they may be able to make a profit with no accountability. So this would mean that the companies that they're naked short selling would have to go to zero. So then when we come down a little bit further, if you guys are confused by anything I just mentioned, here's actually a decent example. So a bit in business, a seller may pre-sell an item that they do not yet have in their possession. Often this will be due to a delayed shipment from the supplier. When it comes time for the seller to deliver to the buyer, they cannot fulfill the order because the supplier was late. The buyer may cancel the order, leaving the seller with a lost sale, useless inventory, and the need to deal with the tardy supplier. Meanwhile, the buyer will not have what they need. So remedies include the seller going into the market to buy the desired goods at which may be higher prices. So this is a big deal. And if we come back over to the actual data, we can see that for the first half of March of 2021, there were 21 million shares. In the second half of February, there were 42 million shares. The first half of February, there were 96 million shares. In the second half of January, this number was so much less. Now, what I'm expecting and assuming that happened here was that a lot of this naked short selling was occurring in the second half of January. And then when it came time for deliveries, we can see that Sundial Growers share price massively ramped up here. All of these different parties were not able to deliver the shares short that they sold. So that's why these numbers are so extremely high. And then they come down after it's not happening as much anymore. So we can see these numbers start to decrease, but this does tell us that naked shorting is occurring in the market. And if one of these hedge funds starts to topple, like we saw with Archegos or Archegos, however you want to say it, we could see some massive squeezes coming in the near future on any of these names on this list that we see here. Now, we do see that Palantir is also on this list, so I'm going to bring this up in my next Palantir video, but there are a couple of other interesting names on this list too. We have Zomedica, which we've talked about on this channel, AMC, which we've been talking about a lot, Castor Maritime. There's a lot of companies on this list that a lot of people know about that seem to have a lot of naked short selling going on, which is a big deal. So hopefully you guys were able to get a better understanding of exactly what is going on with sundial growers in this video. We see that there is evidence of these failure to delivers, which strongly suggests that there is naked shorting going on in the market. So that is going to be it for this update on sundial growers. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And don't forget, if you guys would like to earn those 2 free stocks from Webull, valued up to $1,850, and you would like to help support the channel, make sure you go check out that link down in my description. So that is going to conclude this update. I hope you guys are having a really profitable day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.